welcome to the show. We've got some more Will It Roll for you, so things are working slightly differently this week. I'm going to try and roll at different tracks as opposed to 3 different cars. Now this was one of the most requested tracks. This is benchmark layout A. Now as you can see, I'm sort of messing about with this car. This was the jelly car from our jelly car video a week ago, something like that. I may put links so you can go see that if you haven't already watched it. Now benchmark layout A is pretty much impossible to roll around conventionally. There are no curbs at all. When it comes to rolling, I tend to like sort of throwing cars off curbs. I know people have been telling me you can sort of handbrake on the grass and that will roll cars. Yes, you can do that. I'm not particularly a fan of doing that because that can be pretty much done by any car on almost any track. However, even that can't be done here because there's no grass, which meant I had to come up with a slightly more creative solution. Now, seeing as this car was so difficult to drive around Nürburgring because it fell over, I thought it'd be a good thing to sort of drive around here, and there we go. I managed to roll it at benchmark. Now, of course, this is a very upgraded car. You will not roll a standard car here unless you sort of spin and clip a wall and bounce off it a bit funny. That's the only way you'll ever roll around benchmark. I couldn't find any curbs, or there's just nothing. You can roll it off. So that is the best I could do, really. I know it's a little bit cheating, using a rather highly modified car, and I hope you don't mind the person who made this that we kind of wrecked it again. Anyway, this was the most requested track of all. This is a Laguna Seca. Now, as you can see here, I'm using a Jeep Wrangler. Is it Wrangler? I think I've forgotten. I should have checked this. But yes, we're using a Jeep. Now, this is me on my sort of sighter lap. So I'm driving around, I'm having a look, driving over random curves, and I'm trying to get an idea of where this car will roll. Now, a lot of people said to roll at the corkscrew. When I set off doing this, I didn't actually know what corners were going to be sort of rollable here. But this is not an easy track to roll on. I'm going to start by saying that. I mean, on this citery sort of lap thing, there are possibly 2 places I reckon it would roll. All of these curbs here are just too flat, and this car's not handling very well. So ignore me sort of going on the grass a little bit. Yes, the curbs here are incredibly flat. I mean, I'm not sure quite how fast I was driving around here, but it wasn't even sort of even considering lifting 2 wheels off. Now, this car is a very sort of rollable car, I guess. Is that a word? I don't know. It's very high. It's relatively narrow, which means centre of gravity is pretty high, which means it should roll over fairly easily. I did have a look doing a smart car around here, but the smart car is actually so slow that it struggles with these hills. And the corkscrew is really the only place you are going to roll a car around here. The corner before the corkscrew, maybe if you hit the curb, you might be able to do it. Now, the top suggestion was to roll it going down the corkscrew. However, that doesn't work because you can't carry enough speed around the top bit to sort of make the corner, because you'll just go straight in that sticky stuff and then you'll be stuck. So the only real place I could find to roll it at Laguna Seca is to reverse, and we're going to go up the corkscrew the wrong way. Now, this isn't particularly easy either, coming from this angle, especially in this car. This car isn't that fast. This is the reason why I can't do this with a smart car, is because of this hill. The smart car just doesn't have the power, and it goes so slow when it comes up here. This is a little bit faster. As you can see there, that's getting on 2 wheels. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't really like this bit of track. It doesn't follow you, so I kind of disappear behind the hill quite a few times. Now, at the moment, this Jeep is completely standard, no upgrades at all. The suspension is all stock, and things are looking sort of plausible. I mean, that's kind of getting on 2 wheels a little bit up there, which is pretty good going, I have to say. But yeah, this isn't an easy place to roll because of the sort of the way the corner is. Now, I didn't realise quite how badly this Jeep drove. I kind of came down the hill a little bit too fast and ended up in a wall, which wasn't very clever of me. That explains why there is some front damage on this car in some of the clips. But yes, we're going to keep going. This, I can't remember how long I tried doing this standard. It might roll standard if you just hit the curve just right. There we go. That was probably the closest I ever got with a standard one. If you just hit the curves right, you may get it to roll standard, but it's really, really quite tricky. I did try a Dodge Ram, I think I tried up here as well, but that was too sort of ungainly through this corner. It was going too fast. Also, the other problem with Laguna Seca is the sunlight. As you see there, I just missed the curve completely. But the sun does sort of come down on that section of the track, and if you're driving in bonnet view or cockpit view, which I use one of the 2, basically you just can't really see where the curb is. And again, there, that I'm kind of missing the curb again. So it was off to the upgrade shop, and I just upgraded the suspension, raised the ride height. That is all I did for this car, and that really nearly rolled on its first attempt. I was carrying a little bit more speed through there because I it was like the start I'd reversed and gone around the track. So I was carrying a little bit more speed there, but it was looking like it was going to roll, and that was really quite a close first attempt. Second attempt, and I forgot or got confused by the sun again. So yeah, I kind of ended up all in the wrong place. But yes, we are nearly there, I think. I don't know how many more attempts did it take. I can't remember. I think this is the one. I think it was the third attempt. And there we go, up the hill, and look at that, it rolled and did a front flip, and now you can just see it spinning a wheel. The cameras are useless, so I was going to get a better camera angle. This was a really quite a tough challenge, this one. I wasn't sure I was actually going to be able to do it, without cheating at least and using a jelly car. But there we go, that is the Jeep on its roof at the corkscrew at Laguna Seca. I'm really quite proud of that one. So yes, there we go. For next week, do people want to challenge me to a track, or do they want to see 3 cars again? I quite like the track, the sort of the different tracks. There are some tracks I think that will be impossible without cheating. I know some people were saying about using like simulation damage. I can't use simulation damage for a very simple reason, in that if I roll and get a car stuck on a roof like this, I then cannot get it back over. And if I can't get it back over, I can't save the replay, which means we don't have a replay to make a video out of. I could have someone else in the lobby, but if nobody's around, and I can just go do a will it roll on my own. That's why we're using cosmetic damage only at the moment. But yes, that is it for this video, guys. So thank you very much for watching. We're going to have a super slow-mo. So yes, leave in the comment section if you want to see a track rolled or 3 cars rolled. I don't really mind. I will do either. I just kind of like mixing things up a little bit. So yes, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.